He cheated on me, so I left him. And then I found out that... I guess every story starts with something small, something that doesn't seem important until much later. For me, it was a conversation with a friend. Her name was Kelly. We'd known each other since college. She was the kind of person who noticed things, details, glances, tone. She used to joke that she'd make a great detective, and maybe she really would have. My husband's name was Josh. We met at a bookstore, cliché I know, but I bumped into him, literally in the self-help section. He made a joke about the universe pushing us together. We had coffee that same evening, then dinner the next week, then it just kept going. Josh was the kind of man who listened, like really listened. He remembered tiny things I said and brought them up months later. He was stable, smart, kind, not flashy, but deeply grounded. We got married 2 years later, and for a while, everything felt like a dream. But then, life started to happen. Josh got a promotion at work, and with it came late hours, constant emails, tension. He told me he was chasing another promotion, bigger money, more responsibility, and I believed him, at least, at first. His boss was tough. The workload was insane. I tried to be supportive, cooked his favorite meals, didn't ask too many questions, but somewhere deep down, I started feeling something strange, like a distance. He was tired all the time. His phone was always on silent. He stopped looking me in the eye the same way. And then Kelly said something that stuck. "I'm not trying to scare you, Em," she whispered one night over wine. "But don't you think it's odd? He's never around, always texting, always working." I laughed it off, but the seed was planted. A few weeks later, Josh missed our anniversary dinner. Didn't even call. I sat there at the restaurant alone, staring at the candles. When I got home, he was in bed. Said he'd fallen asleep at the office. He didn't even look sorry. The next day, Kelly offered to help. She said she had a friend, a guy who did private investigations. Nothing crazy, just discreet observation. At first, I said no, but the next time he came home past midnight, I changed my mind. We met at a bookstore. I dropped a pile of novels and he helped me pick them up. Corny? Maybe, but it felt real. Josh wasn't like the guys I used to date. He listened. He remembered small things. He made me feel safe even when I didn't know I needed it. A year later, we got married. It wasn't some grand wedding in a castle, just a cozy ceremony with our closest people, a small backyard, fairy lights, and lots of laughter. We promised to support each other, no matter what. And for a while, we did. After the wedding, life felt quiet, in a good way. We worked, cooked dinner together, binge-watched shows we both pretended not to like. I remember once he brought home a bouquet just because. Josh was thoughtful like that. But then something shifted. It started slow. Longer hours at work, less texting during the day, canceled dinner plans. He said he was trying to get promoted, and I believed him. His boss was strict, the workload insane. So I supported him the best I could. I cooked his favorite meals, stayed quiet when he came home exhausted, tried not to take it personally when he didn't want to talk. But even then, doubt crept in. It wasn't the late hours alone that got to me. It was the way he looked. Distant, distracted, as if something, or someone, was taking up space in his mind. That's when my best friend Rachel started planting seeds. "I don't want to alarm you," she said one night, "but you deserve honesty. He's acting weird, and you're not imagining it." I told her I didn't want to spy on my husband. I hated even saying it. But the signs kept piling up. She'd ask little questions. "Did he call you last night? Did he text when he stayed late?" One day, she showed me an ad for a private investigator. "Just to ease your mind," she said. "No pressure." And for days, I said no. But then, he missed our anniversary dinner. No message, no excuse. He came home late, said he was stuck in meetings. Didn't even notice the table I had set, the candles, the food now cold. That night, I made a decision. I texted Rachel. "Give me the number." The investigator moved quickly. Rachel handled everything. Set up the meetings, even paid the deposit herself. I felt numb. I didn't want to see what he'd find, but I couldn't stop myself either. A week later, Rachel came over with a folder. Photos, times, places. Josh coming out of a building with someone, a woman. Then another picture. Josh at a restaurant with the same woman. No touches, no kisses, but the timing, the secrecy, it crushed me. I couldn't breathe. "He's lying to you," Rachel whispered, hugging me. "You deserve better. You always did." I left the next morning, packed a suitcase, turned off my phone, drove to my parents' house. Josh called, texted, begged. He even showed up at my parents' doorstep. Tried to talk to my father. There was shouting. I didn't come out. I just cried into my pillow while my mom sat beside me, stroking my hair. The silence between us grew heavier. We started talking through lawyers. Our home, I gave it to him. I couldn't stay there anymore. Every room screamed of betrayal. We sat across from each other only once. In that cold gray room, I couldn't meet his eyes. He looked tired, broken. "This isn't real," he said quietly. "None of it. I don't know what you think I did, but I didn't cheat on you." I stayed silent. What was the point? I had pictures, dates, proof. Rachel came with me to sign the final papers. She smiled when it was over, said I was strong. I didn't feel strong. After the divorce, I tried to start over. I moved into a small apartment closer to work, got a promotion a few months later. Everyone said I looked stronger, more independent, more focused. But it was all fake. At night, I'd lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong, why he didn't fight harder, why it still hurts so much. I sold my car. I know it sounds silly, but it still smelled like his cologne. Every time I got in, it felt like he was there, so I sold it and bought a different one. A clean slate, I told myself. Rachel stayed close. She'd come over with wine and snacks, talk about new beginnings, about how I was finally free. But deep down, I didn't feel free. I felt hollow. I deleted our photos from my phone, unfollowed him on everything, cut the string, burned the bridge. And that was supposed to be the end of the story. Update. 3 years later. I'm such an idiot. Idiot. How could I believe all that? I ruined everything. I've rewritten this update 5 times already. Every time I either break down or get too angry to finish. But I need to say it. I need to tell it. Because I destroyed my life, and it was all based on a lie. It started at a party. Well, more like a work reunion. I wasn't even going to go, but I did. And that's where I saw one of Josh's old coworkers. We hadn't spoken in years. He looked at me kind of weird. Then out of nowhere he said, "Hey, I don't know what happened between you and Josh, but I worked with him during that time. And honestly, with the hours we were pulling, I have no clue where he would have found time to cheat. He barely had time to breathe. Some nights he slept at the office." I froze. I smiled, made a joke, walked away. But that sentence stuck with me. It just kept repeating in my head. And then I thought of Rachel, how she disappeared right after the divorce. No more girl nights, no check-ins, just gone. So I started digging. Just to clear my head, that's what I told myself. I searched for the investigator, found his name in an old email. He didn't work at the agency anymore, but I got lucky. The receptionist still remembered the case. She said something about the file always seemed off, that the report was submitted weirdly fast. I asked if she could send me a copy. She hesitated, but eventually did. And what I got wasn't the same. The photos I had, some of them weren't even in this file. Others had different timestamps, different locations, different people. It had been tampered with, faked. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. I couldn't breathe. I confronted Rachel. I showed up at her place, unannounced. She looked stunned to see me. And when I said I knew, she didn't even deny it. She started crying, said she never meant for it to go that far, that she thought Josh didn't deserve me, that he didn't love me, and yes, she confessed. She hired the PI, she replaced the photos, then she whispered the part that broke me. "I thought maybe, if I helped you leave him, he'd see me differently. I started screaming, throwing words at her I didn't even know I had inside me. I left, shaking, crying, sick to my stomach. And for days, I didn't know what to do. Go to Josh? Tell him? Stay away? I mean, I was the one who walked away. I divorced him, tore him apart in court, ignored his calls, let my father throw him out of our lives. But I couldn't let it go. Not now. So, I started looking. I called his old number, no response. I checked his socials, all private. But eventually, through a mutual friend, I found out where he worked now. I waited outside, nervous, shaking, and when I finally saw him, my heart broke all over again. He looked good, calm, happy. He said he had nothing to say, that he had a life now, a wife, a son, and that if I had any respect left, I'd let it go. That was it. I haven't tried again. I still don't know how to forgive myself. I wake up some days and can't breathe. I look at old photos and feel like I'm watching someone else's life. I gave up my marriage for nothing. I destroyed something beautiful because I trusted the wrong person. I changed my number, sold my car, bought a new one. I couldn't stand the smell of his cologne still stuck in the seats. I moved in with my parents for a while, just to not be alone. Work is okay. I'm slowly putting things back together. But relationships, they scare me now. Every time a man is kind, I wonder what he's hiding. Every time someone says, "Trust me," I hear Rachel's voice in my head. I don't know how to heal, or if I even deserve to. Maybe that's why I'm posting this. Not just to tell you the truth, but to ask something. How do you survive betrayal? How do you learn to trust again? If you've been through something like this, please tell me. I need to know I'm not alone. And that's the end of our story. Honestly, I don't think you should blindly trust anyone, even the people closest to you, unless you see the truth with your own eyes. I do feel bad for the author, but let's be real. This feels like her punishment for jumping to conclusions, for not even listening to the man she married. He was out there working hard for their future, and she just erased him. So yeah, I feel way more sorry for him than for her. But what do you think? Write your opinion in the comments. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. You might never see me again if you don't. So hit that button, and I'll see you in the next story.